All right. Being past 10 o'clock, is there a motion to return from recess for the infrastructure committee?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Appreciate everyone yesterday working to move this meeting to this morning. I know it may have caused some inconveniences, but BOCC went a little bit long. All right, item 1 is approval of minutes of March 25.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 2 is an update regarding the TIF 2 and TIF 2A budget.
Well, we did get the final bill in from Kone for the elevators in the courthouse, so we'll be able to start moving on forward with the reimbursement. So,
All right.
I'll move to receive the report.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 3 is a general catch-all item related to our ARPA projects. Stacy, anything here, or Keith, anything here, or just proceed to our owner's rep report?
I think we'll proceed to owner's rep report.
Okay, no action on item 3.
We've overcome inertia.
So is this,
We've overcome inertia on the first floor, so demolition down there in preparation for book removal has begun. We've taken out temporary walls and we're poised now to take out the walls between what was purchasing and where the books are located now. Also, we have removed all of the remaining district attorney's furnishings from the 5th floor, and Midwest Wrecking will begin assembling to do the demo on the 5th floor tomorrow. They'll be here. The alley will be obstructed. I know we've got contractors in the alley. We've got judges that are parking in the alley. So it's going to be kind of a cluster down there for a while.
Keith, again, what work is Midwest commencing on the 5th floor?
Demolition on the 5th floor. So once Midwest Wrecking is finished with the demolition, then our asbestos contractor will come in and do the remediation on all of the, on the entire floor, with the exception of what was DA Civil. They'll do that work. I'm not certain what the timeline is there.
And you're not certain on the timeline for Midwest to be complete on the 5th floor with their demo? What would you guess?
I wouldn't say anything over 3 weeks.
Okay.
They'll move through there fairly quickly.
And what about the demo on the 1st floor? Do you have an ETA for that?
They'll be back on that this week. I held them up on the purchasing wall. I wanted to clearly mark and identify what came out. We need to put a plastic barrier between the books and the construction site so we don't allow any dust into that area. That should happen this week sometime.
When you say we, are we doing that, or will
We have another contractor that is doing that for us.
Okay.
This contractor we set on as a trial basis the ceiling 3rd floor in what was Reason's, or what will be Reason's courtroom. They did a fantastic job. They disassembled that screw by screw. And so we set them on this job on the 1st floor, the annex on the west end there to do that. And they did a great job.
Thank you. No more questions on my half.
okay, so I think we had a motion to receive the report, or no, we did a no action. So is there a motion to receive Keith's report on item?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item 4 is our capital improvements list.
No
Stacy?
changes.
Okay, no action unless. Okay. Item 5 is the item dealing with the Liebert AC cooling systems in the IT server room.
I've reached out several times to train their salespeople, have not returned my phone calls. I've asked Bill White, who has some kind of an internal connection that will maybe help us generate some enthusiasm for this.
I'll move to receive report.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item 6 is our owner's rep report. Good morning, Mr. White.
Good morning. Elevator project, the drawings have been received. We've made a request through purchasing to hopefully have solicitation put out next week with bidding in mid-May and pre-bid in late April, with site visits available to all the interested quoters. Juvenile justice, should be done in the next couple of weeks with the card readers installed and everything ready to go and final punch list prepared. The fifth floor, you heard the clerk's book has accelerated, and once we have first floor annex contract in place with Cooley, we'll review the schedule and see if we want to advance it or leave it at July 8th. If there's appetite or ability to advance it, we might want to advance it and give the contractor plenty of time to complete his work. The sheriff's office, Midwest City, is working through the schedule, and they are very close to their May 1st completion date requirements. That has been going on pretty in earnest for the last week or two, and they've made a lot of progress, and I think they're pretty close to their May 1st schedule. The drainage culvert, no change. Juvenile justice roof, we're still waiting for the warranty documents. The existing jail HVAC solicitation is on the street. It was done yesterday, put out. We're looking at April 10th for a pre-bid, and I believe the bid date is May 1st. I think that is.
Sounds right.
Yeah. Existing jail roof replacement is again complete. Loading docks, I understand that the county has been completed, and we should get that purchase order out in the next week or so. So we'll begin a pre-bid and start that work. Again, the metal roof is complete also on the detention center, and waiting on the warranty review on that.
Couple of questions on the elevators. If I remember correctly, we put all of the elevators, regardless of the building, out in one package. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And then, as you may know, we recently had an issue with one of the elevators out at Juvenile, and then there's been some traffic about those are nearing end of life, etc. When we go to replace the elevators, will all that work occur simultaneously at the different locations, or can we schedule perhaps to do Juvenile first if?
Where we're at with the elevators is each site will be a bid item, and we will order hopefully all the materials at the same time, and it will depend strictly on the manufacturer's ability to get the materials here on who goes first. Okay. I know that we'll place emphasis on the priorities from the county, but we'll be a little bit limited to the availability of materials coming in.
Okay, all right.
But I think Juvenile actually is probably one that we could start early.
Right. Okay.
Oh, absolutely. We'll have multiple crews. They'll be simultaneously, but what I call all 6 bid items won't simultaneously work. It'll depend on the availability of materials and manufacturing.
Okay. All right.
Motion to receive report.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. All right. The last item is an update on the Citizens Oversight Advisory Board.
No report.
When are they scheduled to meet again?
I think towards the end of this month.
Right? It's no action. Citizens? Seeing none. Board comments?
I would like to congratulate the Lady Hawkeyes on their win last night. No further comments.
No comment.
Okay. Any new business? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Give us a moment. Everybody in?
Yes.
All right. Is there a motion to return from recess for the PBA advisor?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
First item is, oops.
I'll move to approve the minutes.
Second.
Are those dates correct?
I can't see him anymore.
It's the 11th, the
11th
11th,
and
the
the
18th, and the PBA, or the infrastructure was the 25th.
Yeah, no, I think that
Okay, all right.
Didn't you have an extra PBA meeting to discuss the bonds?
Let me just
yeah, we'd already approved those though.
let's just, yeah, let Cassie double check. If we could have a withdrawal of the motion to approve and the second on the approval, and then just do a motion to strike.
Yeah, I'll withdraw my motion and move to strike.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item 2 is the catch-all item for the ARPA capital projects related to PDA. Nothing? Okay. No action on item 2. Item 3 is a discussion regarding a potential lease with the DA's office for storage space at the new.
Working with Aaron Etherington on a lease document to describe what we're trying to do.
Okay, perfect. Hey, Keith, do you mind if we just go ahead and strike this until
Sure.
you have something? Okay, is there a motion to strike this item?
Also moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, 4 is our owner's report on the PBA ARPA projects.
Good morning again. Emergency ops is progressing with CDs. Also, our OG&E application for the new service is complete. I appreciate Keith's help. And that is into OG&E for design and evaluation. Elevators, as previously discussed. Camera security across the street. Still on track probably for the end of April to complete everything. ICB remodel. I provided some quotations for the different design elements. Approximately to change from a 2-pipe to a 4-pipe system was $30,000. To change to just adding both designs was an additional $17,000 or $47,000. And our goal is to get a direction shortly on how to proceed.
I have
The-
this. proposals here. Got me to accept it, or have you already seen the?
I haven't seen the actual
Okay,
proposal, but a question, if we were to elect to go with, the 30,000 to go from a 2 to a 4, the funding necessary for that change order, could it be absorbed within, the existing budget? In other words, by, perhaps reducing in certain other areas to cover that cost?
I think the budget is very tight as we speak, but I think, you know, those allowances will be for your decision, but yes, I think we can change the funding.
Okay. Charles, I think you might have a motion here on a direction.
Yeah, Keith, do you have any input on how you think would be best to absorb the 31,000?
No, but there are some questions that I want to have answered before we elect to go one way or another. The capacity of what we have already, if it can be utilized successfully to do what we're trying to do, that would signal a move in this direction. So for me, it's not so much about the funding component as it is whether or not we can use what we have preliminarily without having to go down that road only to find out that well, what is being asked or proposed can't happen. So we have
Perhaps my understanding of maybe where we were going was incorrect, but I was under the assumption that, we could utilize the existing pipes, and, which is 2, correct?
we have
And-
4-inch copper lines that serve the Investors Capitol building
Right.
from the basement to the 5th floor. We need to determine whether or not those lines can carry the capacity necessary. And some would argue, well, that's an engineering thing that we need to pay for in advance to pay for those questions to be answered. The calculations really are more simple than that. I think that can be accomplished, and that's what needs to be determined before we appropriate $30,000 for design work. I've talked with Todd Lewis at Vicinity, and he's able and willing to help in that way if necessary.
Stacy, do you concur?
Yeah, I think it's an important question
Yeah.
to know.
I would just direct Keith in to get those calculations made. And then I would ask William White, do you think that'd be another 2 weeks, although I'm not opposed to having a special meeting if we get those calculations done earlier.
Yeah, I think the architect and designer can answer that on short order. I think the main thing is we have received the DD design of the facade, which will allow loading calculations to be done on the new building or the new.
So I would defer to making
Sorry, Charles.
Go ahead.
Was the $30,000 change order for the engineering
Yes.
design fee, if you will, was that number, I guess, was built upon the assumption that we could move forward with the existing piping?
It was. I don't think that has been determined. I think Keith has the question.
Okay. All right.
And I think we can find that answer in short order.
Okay. All right. Charles, I agree with you. If you get those answers and we need a quick special, then we'll certainly do that.
Thank you, Keith.
Thank you both.
Also, the CMAR interviews, I think, are mid-April for this project.
If there was any report wrapped up in that, I would make a motion to approve or receive rather.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And 6 is the interior project, which I think we loosely touched on. Is there a motion on item 6 or no action, anything else? Okay. Citizen participation? Board comments?
None.
New business? Can we adjourn?
I'll make a move to adjourn the meeting.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.